Good evening. Welcome to the Tupelo City Council meeting, July 21st, 2020. Tonight, there's 6 of us up here, and Mr. Willie Jennings, Councilman Jennings, was unable to make it tonight, but we have him on speakerphone right in front of Markle right here. So when we take votes, he's going to say yay or nay during that vote. Tonight, the invocation will be led by Councilman Lynn Bryan, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Ms. Nettie Davis. I'm going to pause right here. Mr. Jennings, can you hear us?
He can.
Yeah. He can? Okay, again, the invocation will be led by Councilman Lynn Bryan, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Ms. Nettie Davis.
Please rise. Let us pray. Our Father, thank Thee for Thy many blessings. Keep us from harm. Guide us and teach us to be true to each other, ourselves, and Thee. Amen.
The pledge will be led by Boy Scout Troop number 1. Is that Lee?
12.
12 from United Methodist Church. So could you come forward and lead us in the pledge?
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now call the meeting to order, and I call on our Vice President, Buddy Palmer, for a confirmation or amendment to the agenda and agenda order.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I move to confirm the agenda and the agenda order.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Whittington. All in favor?
Yes.
Motion carries. We'll move to proclamations, recognitions, and report agendas. Item 1, in the matter of resolution honoring the life of Dr. James Henry Neely.
Thank you, President Bryan. If I could at this time ask the children of Dr. Neely, Brian and Patricia, please come forward. At this time, on behalf of the Council, Administration, and City of Tupelo, it's my privilege to issue the following resolution honoring the life of Dr. James Henry Neely. Whereas Dr. James Henry Neely was born in West Point, Mississippi on August 8, 1932, to the union of Robert Missouri Neely, he departed this life on June 23, 2020 in the Baptist Memorial Hospital in Oxford, Mississippi. Whereas he attended Mary Holmes College High School, where he was editor of the school newspaper, secretary of the senior class, president of the athletic club, member at large of the student council. He received his bachelor's degree in 1955 from Kentucky State University. He received his doctorate of medicine degree in 1960 from Meharry Medical College in Nashville, Tennessee. He served in the United States Air Force and earned the rank of captain and served as a flight surgeon. In 1964, he relocated to Tupelo to set up his medical practice upon the encouragement of the late Dr. Walter A. Zuber. He was the first African-American doctor to have full hospital privileges of admitting and treating patients at the North Mississippi Medical Center. He diligently served his community in medical practice for 35 years until his retirement in 1999. Dr. Neely was a member of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity and many other organizations, including the NAACP and National Medical Association. He was part of the Black Business Association of Mississippi and the Henry Hampton Elks Lodge. Dr. Neely's extensive community and civic involvement included Big Brothers Big Sisters, Boy Scouts of America, Tupelo, UNCF, Good Samaritan Health Services, and St. Paul Outreach Boys Home. Whereas Dr. Neely was honored with numerous awards during his notable career, including the North Mississippi Medical Center Surgical Award, Practitioner of the Year, the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated New Sigma Omega Chapter Distinguished Service Award, the Meharry Medical College Distinguished Service Award, the Black Business Association Legend Award for Outstanding Community Service, the UNCF Tupelo Lee County Committee Recognition Award for Outstanding Dedication and Leadership, the Magnolia Bar Association Harriet Tubman Award, and the Committee for King Drum Major Award. Whereas a project that he was proud of was the planting of pink crepe myrtle trees along North Spring Street, which still bloom beautifully each year. Dr. Neely was married to the former Elaine Kilgore of West Point for 66 years, one of his greatest accomplishments. Therefore, on behalf of the City of Tupelo, I respectfully call upon all citizens to recognize the life and legacy of Dr. James Henry Neely.
I'd just like to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for this kind honor, for my father. You know, my mother is one of your biggest fans, and I want you to know that we're deeply humble and grateful that you and the entire board would do such a kind thing for our father. In particular, we'd like to thank my mother's sorority sister, Miss Netta Ann Davis, for your thoughtfulness and your prayers and being by our family's side throughout this entire ordeal. Again, I'd like to thank each and every one of you. We are deeply, deeply grateful and humble. Thank you.
We'll move to item 2 in the matter of a proclamation celebrating the 150th anniversary of the incorporation of the City of Tupelo. Mayor Shelton.
Thank you, President Brian. If I could ask, and I'll recognize them shortly, but if I could ask Lewis Russell, Walker Russell, and Wynn Wardlow. I know this is a surprise, but if you young men would come join me to accept this proclamation on behalf of the City of Tupelo. Just stand there and make sure everybody's looking at you instead of me. At this time, on behalf of the City of Tupelo, Tupelo City Council, and our administration, it's my honor to issue the following proclamation celebrating the 150th anniversary of the incorporation of the City of Tupelo. Whereas Tupelo was incorporated July 20, 1870, with a population of 618 people. And the city's rich history tells a story of innovation, collaboration, and progress, better known as the Tupelo Spirit. Yet the Tupelo Spirit began long before the city's incorporation with the unconquered and unconquerable Chickasaw Nation, and has remained a central thread woven through Tupelo's narrative for 150 years. Tupelo innovated to move from a waning agrarian economy to become the upholstered furniture manufacturing capital of the world, and today is an automotive manufacturing hub in the South, as well as a banking leader named Bank City USA by the American Banking Journal. Tupelo collaborated to become the first city to receive electricity from the Tennessee Valley Authority. Whereas Tupelo became a town when a railroad came through, and its progress is on display every day when the train goes through Crosstown. Its unrivaled arts community, strong public school system, and diverse business sectors are a testament to Tupelo's reputation as a progressive city. Whereas what is now Tupelo, as capital of the Chickasaw Nation, was part of the French and Indian War, the Battle of Acquia, the American Civil War, FDR's New Deal, and the Civil Rights Movement. The story of Tupelo is the story of America itself. Today, Tupelo is home to 38,000 citizens, the largest public high school in the state, the largest rural hospital in the United States, and headquarters to one of the top 10 most visited national parks in the country, the Natchez Trace, and the birthplace of Elvis Presley, an icon whose birthplace is annually explored by thousands of visitors from all over the world. Tupelo has been named an All-America City 5 times by the National Civic League. Whereas the Tupelo spirit is alive and well and will continue to tell the Tupelo story for the next 150 years, hereby, and Neil help me, declares July 20, 2020 as the 150th birthday and sesquicentennial of the city of Tupelo. Thank you, gentlemen, for accepting the proclamation on behalf of the city of Tupelo.
Hey, Mayor, while they're up here, you want to introduce them?
I can? Yeah. Sorry, my fault.
You're good.
This is Troop 12 from First United Methodist Church, led by Scoutmaster Lynn Bryan, Lewis Russell, Walker Russell, and Wynn Wardlow. Let's give them a big round of applause.
We'll move to employee recognitions.
There are none.
Public recognitions. I'll start with Ms. Davis.
I would like to recognize one of our national civil rights figures tonight, John Lewis, who passed away, Congressman John Lewis, who's a native of Alabama, but lived most of his life in Atlanta, Georgia. And he passed away on Friday, and he was really a civil rights icon. And we're going to be doing, hopefully the Daily Journal will be doing a special article on him. I received the opportunity in my freshman year in college to work under John Lewis, who was head of the Student Nonviolent Association. And at that particular time is when we marched downtown to F.W. Woolworth and sat in at F.W. Woolworth, which opened all of the restaurants across the nation for everybody to be free to eat wherever they would like to. But he is one of our national civil rights leaders, and we feel that it's going to be a big loss to the country because he was one of 6 top civil rights leaders in the nation. So I would like to ask you to be in prayers for him. He found out I guess several months ago, he had an incurable illness, and he passed away on Friday. So I just want to recognize him as a great icon and leader of the civil rights movement.
Coach Beard?
I don't have any.
Don't have any. Mark? Lynn? Mr. Jennings, you have any recognitions?
No, sir.
I would like to recognize Todd Jordan, Lee County Supervisor. He's here tonight. We'll move to item 3, Junior Auxiliary of Tupelo, Alley West. And I believe Kit and Summer is with you as well. You have someone else?
And we have the Haven Acres Boys and Girls Club Director, Talisa, with us.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Summer Sweeney, and I'm the Vice President and Provisional Trainer of Junior Auxiliary of Tupelo. I want to thank the City of Tupelo for having us here at your City Council meeting and giving us just a few minutes of your time. I want to give you a little background before these ladies speak about the Unity Mural Project that they did this year. Each year, during the summer, the new members of Junior Auxiliary create a project to help serve the children of Lee County. The criteria for the project is that it's carefully and creatively planned, meets a need in our community, and makes the most of our class members' abilities. My job with these ladies has been to guide and make sure it aligns with the work of Junior Auxiliary with our members. As you can imagine, with everything going on in our world, this was not an easy task. But this group of ladies stepped up to the challenge and served the children in one of the most creative ways I've ever seen. This project for me personally embodies Junior Auxiliary and all the work we do for the children. It also shows me again and again what the phrase Tupelo spirit means to me. The project couldn't have happened without several people and organizations. First of all, I'd like to thank the Downtown Association for giving Junior Auxiliary this opportunity and working with us throughout this project. Secondly, I want to thank the Boys and Girls Club for allowing these children to come paint and give their time too. The way these children see this world is amazing, and the mural has touched many lives who've already had the opportunity to see it. I also want to thank the Guptas and General Leon Collins because they also took out time during this to do Zoom calls with the children to talk about different subjects. I want to thank Sherwin-Williams, who donated the paint for the murals, and a very special thanks to Jason Warren Realty, MLM, the Longs, who graciously allowed these children to paint the murals on the walls of their businesses. I'll let you go.
I'm going to let Kit talk about the design, but she mentioned General Collins and the Guptas. In conjunction with the art piece, we did some Zoom calls where we read books about unity and diversity to tie the whole picture together. And the children at the Haven Acres Boys and Girls Club were so precious and delightful. And Caretha, y'all are doing an amazing job with those kids. And then to finish our piece of the puzzle, we're going to donate supplies to their art room so that this fall they can continue to create more of what they started downtown. I'll show you this while you're
Show images while I talk. That's good. I need some background. Okay, so my name's Kit Stafford, and I'm a provisional member of JA. And we began discussions of what kind of project we wanted to do and what we could contribute to the youth in our area and our community. And we knew that we wanted it to be meaningful, and we knew that we wanted to give them a voice through the arts. So we reached out to Boys and Girls Club, and we challenged them with illustrating, drawing, sharing their ideas of what unity, peace, and love look like to them. So after we collected their drawings and their ideas, we took them all and we, combined them to create two 30-foot murals on either side, on MLM and Warren Realty. There's images popping up through the process. It was a great deal of prep work before, priming, drawing off, and so on, but when the kids showed up and actually saw their images in 12-foot, real life, it was so fun to see the expressions on their face. It was wonderful to see them say, oh, that was my idea, or that was my sketch. And it was extremely rewarding to us that were involved, and hopefully to the children too. The students painted in over the course of our week. They took pride in each of their own contributions. I heard students saying, I painted that, and I painted that, and I painted that. They were really claiming it as they went, which I loved. And I just want to say, anytime that we're investing in our young people, the rewards are great. And allowing our young people a voice and opportunity to share their ideas through art is a wonderful opportunity. We're so grateful for everybody that kind of paved the way for this project. And while we were painting, one of the young men, I told him, I said, when you go back to school and they ask you what you did this summer, saying that you painted a 60-foot mural, there aren't going to be many people that can kind of compete with that. That's a great claim to fame for the summer of 2020. So we're grateful for these boys and girls and for our community. Thank you so much.
We'll move to the mayor's remarks.
Thank you, President Bryan. Would echo Councilwoman Davis's remarks on Congressman John Lewis that we lost this week as a nation, joining mourning his passing. Thank you, Supervisor Jordan, for being here. We appreciate you being here and the cooperative working relationship that we have with the Lee County Board of Supervisors. Want to remind everyone to continue to wear your mask and face covering. We continue to have, and today I believe was another record number of cases of COVID-19. So it's continues to be a very serious situation, and we look forward to continuing to working with the county on that to continue to have safety regulations, orders in place for masks and other things to protect our citizens. As you heard, the proclamation, the sesquicentennial celebration. Of course, we started off with New Year's with a bang. We got the City Spirit Award from MML for the New Year's Eve. You know, we had about 5,000 people. COVID, of course, changed our plans for 2020. Instead of the different events each month, we've, of course, been sort of sidelined. Today, we had anticipated having the governor in town and having, yesterday, rather, the governor in town and big event. We're supposed to have a concert similar to the New Year's Eve, but we didn't get to do that, but we still are very proud of our 150th birthday. We have a lot to be thankful for, a lot to celebrate as a city, a lot of historical accomplishments, and of course, I think that we'll continue over the next 150 years to build upon those pillars of success that have gotten us as a city and a community to where we are today. Just mainly for the record, we're in the process of presenting city budget. We've got the best CFO in the state of Mississippi, and Kim Hanna. Very proud of her leadership on our budget. As you know, we've had 7 consecutive years of record-breaking success in the city of Tupelo, and again, we will be presenting a fiscally conservative budget that adequately meets the needs of the city. This will be a balanced budget with no new taxes, no new debt, and which does not utilize any funds from the municipal reserve or rainy day fund. We will continue our pay-as-you-go philosophy and continue to live within our means. I want to thank again publicly our city council during the last bond issue when we reviewed the capital plan. The city council has already funded both this year and next year's capital plan project. So even with the budget cuts from COVID-19, even with the shortfalls, as long as the items on the capital plan remain the same, those are funded through the end of this council and administration's term. So even though we're in uncertain times as a nation and a state and a community because of COVID-19, the city of Tupelo, the financial strength of the city of Tupelo, the forward thinking and planning of our CFO leaves us in good shape. So we will be beginning those budget hearings in August, and look forward to working with the council to complete that process. That will conclude the mayor's report at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Shelton. We'll close the regular meeting and open public agenda, public hearings. Item 4, in the matter of public hearing for properties to be mowed. Anyone here to speak on properties to be mowed? We'll move to appeals. No appeals. Any citizens hearings? There are none. We'll close the public. Excuse me.
This lady wants to speak about lot hauling.
Oh, okay. Ma'am, would you please come up to the podium? And introduce your name and your address, and you have 5 minutes.
Okay, Trudy Lane, 1707 Lawndale Drive. I got a notice for my yard to be mowed. The reason it hasn't been mowed is I work in Pontotoc, and my son is at home. Every time I get somebody over there to mow it, he runs them off. I'm not there, and I can't, I want the yard mowed. I've never had my yard not mowed. So that's why I'm saying I'm gonna try to get the yard to be mowed. And I just wanted to let you know, because like I said, y'all did put something in the yard, and then I got a letter. This is embarrassing to me because I'm not raised that way. And I wanted to apologize and say I'm sorry.
What's the address?
Okay. What's the address again?
1707 Lawndale Drive.
Okay, you're on the agenda tonight, and we'll approve this to be mowed and that the city would mow it. However, Pat, how many days will that she have before you take action? 3 or 4 days. Do you think you could have it done in 3 or 4 days?
I'm gonna try my best. If I don't, I will call you. I will call the number that's on the thing and tell them that I couldn't. And then y'all can send somebody.
Okay. It will come up on approval later in the agenda, and if any council member wishes to allow more days or anything, that'd have to come in the form of a motion. If not, you'll have 3 or 4 days. Mr. Faulkner would be more than glad to talk with you on your way out if y'all need to talk. If not,
Okay.
But Pat will work with you and give you a few days or whatever.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else here about lot mowings? We have no appeals, no citizens hearings. We'll close the public agenda and we'll move back into the action agenda, or the regular session. Action agenda, we have no action. We'll go to routine agenda, item 5, in the matter of review and pay bills.
I move that we will pay the bills.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Davis, second by Coach Beard to pay the bills. The bills were paid tonight by Mr. Beard, Mr. Whittington, Mr. Palmer, Mr. Bryan, Ms. Davis, and under the watchful eye of Tracy Dillard. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item 6, in the matter of City Council minutes, July 7th, 2020.
Make a motion we approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Whittington, second by Mr. Palmer. All in favor? Motion carries. In the matter of budget amendment number 7.
Make a motion we approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Whittington, second by Mr. Bryan. Ms. Hannah?
This is the 7th budget amendment for the fiscal year 2020. I'm asking to amend 3 funds. The first fund is the CVB fund. We received tourism tax. We will show a shortfall of around $150,000. That is what is projected this year. That may not be the case, but that is the best estimate we have as of July, and that is the last month that we can amend that downward. Also, I'm asking to reduce the Coliseum operating fund. I'm asking to drop that down by $1,550,000, which will leave a budget of $4,085,830. This is due to the temporary closure of the Coliseum. That revenue will be down, but we do have expenditures to offset those revenues Since there will be no shows, there'll be no expenditures, so we're asking to drop that down $1,550,000. The last fund that we're asking to increase is a sanitation fund. We were on schedule to buy property in 2019. That property did not come in. That property will be, not property, those assets will be here in 2020. So we're asking for the money to roll over from 2019. It's not new money, it's just originally budgeted in 2019. We're asking to roll that forward and spend that in 2020 in the amount of $454,079.
Any comments, questions? All in favor? Motion carried. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 8, in the matter of advertisement and promotional items. There are none. Item 9, in the matter of CVB minutes, July 20, 2020.
I second.
Motion by Mr. Bryan, second by Ms. Davis. All in favor? Motion carries. Motion carries. Item 10, in the matter of 2020 AIP grants.
Make a motion we approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Winnington, second by Mr. Palmer. Mr. Nash?
Mr. President, Board, these are two grants that we were receiving in 2020 from the FAA. The total grants is $966,173 for engineering and construction projects at the airport. We are not asking for any money other than the airport as a sponsor sign and accept the grants.
Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 11, in the matter of bid approval, infrared payment restoration 12 months 2020-017 PW.
I move that we approve the bid.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Jennings, second by Ms. Davis. Alex, you ready?
Well, this is Chuck.
I mean, Chuck. Chuck,
Yeah,
Chuck,
this
I'm
is
sorry.
you're fine.
Hey,
This is
it's
a
the
12
math. I'm
There
sorry,
you
I
go.
tell you.
Pull it on up a little more. This is a 12-month bid for some asphalt repair, infrared asphalt repair. We had one company to respond, ARC, and we asked that this bid be approved. We worked with them the past 3 years. They've done a great job for us.
Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 12, in the matter of bid approval, curb and gutter, 12 months, 2020-018 PW.
Move to approve this bid.
I second.
Motion by Mr. Palmer, second by Ms. Davis.
This is also a 12-month bid. It's a routine bid for us. Slate and Concrete is the only one that responded. And this is just for our curb and gutter repair and new install as we need it.
Any questions? Comments? All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 13, in the matter of request for bid rejection.
Make a motion we reject.
Second. Motion by Mr. Whittington, second by Mr. Bryan. We are rejecting this bid because it went public and we did not receive a bid. So now we have to reject the process and Mr. Timmons will have to start over. All in favor? Motion carries. Item 14, in the matter of request for contract ratification.
Move we approve.
Second.
Motion by Coach Beard, second by Mr. Whittington. Mr. Timmons here.
Tonight, I'm asking for the approval of the contract that months ago y'all approved Stevenson to upgrade sandblast and upgrade the water tank at Nell Street, and it's just the approval of the contract.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Timmons. Item 15, in the matter of tax abatement application for Bulldog Burger.
I move we approve this application.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Palmer, second by Mr. Bryan. Mayor?
Thank you, President Bryan. This is application for tax abatement as we do for economic development incentive. Bulldog Burger meets the statutory requirements, and so we submitted that for this economic development.
Any questions? Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 16, in the matter of lot mowing approvals.
Move we approve the lot mowing list.
Second.
Motion by Coach Beard, second by Mr. Whittington. All in favor? Motion carries. Item 17, in the matter of ad valorem tax exemption for Gibson Corrugated LLC.
Move we approve.
Second.
Motion by Coach Beard, second by Mr. Palmer. This is a normal tax exemption that we grant for industries. Mr. Logan, have you put your final stamp?
Yes, Mr. President, we have received back from the State Tax Commission the approval of the exemption that we granted.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 18, in the matter of resolution rescinding approval of ad valorem tax exemption for United Furniture Industries.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bryan, second by Mr. Palmer. This is Mr. Logan.
Mr. President, we had previously granted an exemption for United Furnitures for this year. Upon review by the county tax assessor and the board of supervisors and the state tax commission, we had already granted an exemption for a previous year, and once that was excluded, they did not meet the $500,000 threshold. We're asking to rescind that approval.
Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 19, in the matter of ratification of purchase and sale contracts of real property interests, 357 and 371 Malone, 802 Malone, 427 Walker, 516 Walker, 602 North Gloucester, 720 West Jackson, 804 West Jackson.
I move that we would approve the ratification of purchase.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Nettie, second by Coach Beard. Mr. Logan?
These are the ratification of the contracts for purchase and the acceptance of deeds that are in your packet that were previously approved by the council.
I believe we approved these at the last council too, didn't we? I believe. So, or 2 councils ago, 2 meetings ago. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 20, in the matter of amending to employee handbook policy number 503 and add policy number 303A and 309A.
Make a motion we approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Whittington, second by Mr. Palmer. Mr. Logan?
The first amendment would be to eliminate the pandemic provisions of our emergency closings policy 503 and thereby eliminate any administrative leave that we have been acting under at the beginning of the first shift, either after midnight tonight or first thing in the morning. The 303A incorporates the Emergency Family and Medical Leave Expansion Act, a federal law that was passed back in late March and went into effect on April the 1st, to our regular Family Medical Leave Expansion Act. And the 309A incorporates the Emergency Paid Sick Leave Act, passed by Congress in late March and effective April 1st of 2020, as a companion to our sick leave policy in policy 309.
Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 21, in the matter of review of citywide leisure and recreation district.
I move that we would approve the citywide leisure and recreation district.
So, second.
Mayor Shelton.
Thank you, President Bryan. This is a kind of a formality. When we did this as a response to COVID-19, we expanded the downtown leisure and recreation district citywide at the request of the Restaurant Association. In that ordinance, we put a review, several criteria, but either at the end of the emergency when Governor Reeves withdrew the statewide executive orders, or 90 days. So this has been 90 days. As we met with in pre-council yesterday, Chief Gary mentioned there has been no issues or concerns or law enforcement related concerns with this. And again, I believe the Restaurant Association, even though they're not here tonight, would also make the request to continue this until the COVID-19 emergency has passed.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 22, in the matter of agreement to permit application of Midtown Point and accept city maintenance of curb closure of existing entrance located at the northwest quadrant of the intersection of South Gloucester and Varsity Drive.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Whittington, second by Mr. Jennings. Mr. Bynes?
Yes, sir, thank you. This request came to us from MDOT to allow a permit for them to make this change. We have already reviewed the building plans in our own plan review and approved, so it's no issue for us and we're good to move forward.
Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 23, in the matter of Tupelo Citizens Police Advisory Board Annual Report.
I move we approve this report.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Palmer, second by Mr. Whittington. Chief Gary?
Yes, this is the annual report of the Police Advisory Board. Normally, it's presented in person, but because of the COVID pandemic, the council president wanted to submit in writing his report to the council, and we ask that you accept his written report.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 24, in the matter of ratify contract for Fair Park redevelopment Phase 4.
Make a motion to ratify the contract.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Whittington, second by Mr. Palmer. Mr. Logan?
This is the, we approved the bid for the infrastructure for Fair Park Phase 4 at our last meeting. This approves the construction contract with Cook & Sons, or ratifies it, for the completion of the streets, alleys, sidewalks, drainage, streetlights, and underground electricity for Phase 4 of Bear Park.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll close the regular session, move to the study agenda, no items. Counselor, do we have any executive session tonight?
No, sir.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Whittington, second by Mr. Bryan. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Jennings, for being on the hotline. And thank y'all for attending the city council meeting tonight. Y'all have a good night.
Did good, Willie.